visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's Last Post ceremony. My name is Joanne Smedley, and joining us today from the Australian Army is Major Trent Groves. We warmly welcome the family of Flying Officer Alan Barton Ross, whose story will be told shortly. We are honoured to acknowledge representatives from RAAF Association, ACT Division. We welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that support them. We acknowledge the members of RSL and Services Clubs Association, RSL Victoria and RSL Queensland, who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony across Australia. During the ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection by family and visitors, as well as students from Hale School, Wembley Downs, Western Australia. Please stand and join in the singing of the national anthem. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight we'll read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 102,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and operations for more than a century. But first we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths or floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection.
Today we remember and pay tribute to Flying Officer Alan Barton Ross. Alan Ross was born on the 23rd of June 1919 in Adelaide, South Australia, to Scottish immigrant William Ross and his Australian-born wife Linda. Alan had a younger sister, Denise, of whom he was quite protective, and the pair grew up in the Adelaide suburb of Fullerton. He was educated at Prince Alfred College, where he was a keen sportsman, excelling in yachting and lacrosse. Outside school, he was a talented golfer and a member of the Glenelg Club, often sharing around with his father. Following his schooling, Ross went on to work as an insurance clerk at the Adelaide branch of the Queensland Insurance Company. He also served with the militia, attaining the rank of corporal in the 10th Battalion. On the 8th of November 1941, at the age of 22, Ross joined the Citizen Air Force, the reserve component of the Royal Australian Air Force. After initial training and earning his Air Gunner's badge, he secured a commission with the RAF and before going on to more advanced training. During pre-embarkation leave late in December 1942, Ross spent a final Christmas with his family before being posted to No. 100 Squadron, then based in Milne Bay, New Guinea. On the morning of the 25th of February 1943, Flying Officer Ross was one of a crew of 4 on a Bristol Beaufort carrying out a reconnaissance flight. Just after midday, the aircraft sent a message advising its estimated time of arrival and requesting a weather report. No further contact was ever made. A thorough search of the area was conducted, but the remains of the aircraft and its crew were never found. Alan Ross was 23 years old. His name is listed on the Roll of Honour on my left, among almost 40,000 Australians who died while serving in the Second World War. This is but one of the many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Flying Officer Alan Barton Ross, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and for the hope of a better world. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, or the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
lest we forget.
Lest we forget. We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Pozières or in the low scrub at Gallipoli with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the last post ceremony. Thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial and good evening.